Everybody's fine, but they can't be you. Even if they wanted to do. Got my teens, can't stay outside. Put down for it, I'm alone. I've been gone for too long. Think it's time I bring it back. Hi guys. Hi, Sunborn. I missed you guys so much. I hope you guys missed me just as much as I missed you. I just want to say before I get into anything, I am so sorry. I know I said I wouldn't disappear in my last video, but like here we are. When I am ready to finally discuss and give you guys an update, I will definitely let you guys know what has been happening. But essentially, my health has not been the greatest, and I've had to take a break or like slow down on the things that I was doing, getting up to. And obviously, YouTube was one of those things. So yeah. Also, I just genuinely did not have the energy to record like that, like anything that I was getting up to, if I was getting up to anything, because things have been a little difficult. Also, side note, guys, I am digging this lip combo. I'll probably do a short on this. Let me know if you guys would like to see it. Anyway, hi guys. My name is Nolitano Pasha. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by and tuning in. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back in. Love you loads. You know this already. Tell you this all the time. Also, I just want to say I'm quite surprised that there's people that have been subscribing despite the fact that I haven't been posting. It was it was quite something. So I just want to say thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Hope you love it here and that you stay and become a part of our little family. We definitely love that. So today we're doing a story time. I figured what better way to make it up to you guys than a juicy story time. This is actually something that a friend of mine reminded me of when we were speaking on the phone just like the other day, and I was like, oh, why not? It was actually something I kind of promised myself I'd never bring to this channel, but I'm like, it happened so many years ago and I'm genuinely over all the stuff that happened. Hopefully also the parties involved are over it too, because why wouldn't you be? Like, it's been so many years. High school was a lot of years ago, a lot. So yeah, but if was delete, I can't make any promises though, but yeah, if you ask nicely, I might just. Anyway, without rambling too much, let's get into the story time. Okay, so this obviously happened in high school, as I mentioned, and there's so many people involved, but some of them are not really vital to like the stuff that happened, right? But I'm going to try and make this as brief as possible because it's very long, to be quite honest. But because I want to tell specifically what's in the title of this video, I'm going to try and summarize. Okay, context. As always, because would it really be a story time by me if there was no context? Primary school and high school are like two different schools. Wait, what am I saying? English young balegula right now. Essentially, I started primary school at a different school, and then obviously when I was transitioning into grade 8, I changed schools. So that's what I'm trying to say. I think that makes more sense, right? So obviously you're a new person, new school. I don't know anybody. I know my cousin was at the school as well. I just can't remember if she arrived there first or if she arrived there after, but essentially she became my friend. I mean, she's my cousin, she's the only person I know, so it made sense that her and I form a friendship. Now, she was friends with another girl, we'll call her Shenyiwe, right? And then obviously when I joined their friend group, Shenyiwe then became my friend by default, right? So that's now 2 people in the story. Third person is someone that I became a friend with just randomly. We clicked literally when she got to the school because she was new, I remember. I think she arrived in grade 9 or something along those lines, if I'm not mistaken. And then, yeah, like we became really good friends, still good friends to this day. Love her to bits, right? And then the guy in question is someone that I've actually mentioned on this channel before. I mentioned him in my first time tag. He's the guy that was my first heartbreak, because I don't think I mentioned his real name. That would have been a really bad idea, to be quite honest. Also, puppy act, not trying to get sued and stuff. Yeah, one. But yeah, so we'll name him Brandon. Right? So like throughout high school, people knew, well, people that knew me anyways, knew that I really, really liked this guy. Like, he was one of those people that I just genuinely could not get over. And it used to make my friends so mad. Like, it used to get them so angry because, the treatment was... If I say not the greatest, I feel like that would be an understatement. Like, there was just a lot of stuff that went down that shouldn't have went down. I've judged myself enough. I think that's the first thing I want to say. Number two, I didn't know any better because I was still... once well, I don't want to say that like I fully know who I am and what I like right now, because people change all the time. We discover new things about ourselves all the time. But back then, umuntu bese say, what's up, I was very young, so yeah. Anyway, so him and I were basically like on and off throughout high school, really. Like grade 8. I was on and off like throughout, but like he was that person who would say, if he calls and says I want to see you, I'm there. If he says Kumbulile, where are you, I'm there. If we break up and I receive a hey stranger text, I'm responding almost immediately. Like it was that deep. It was a very toxic relationship, can't lie. But yeah, it's just really love. But also him and I are really cool. We don't speak anymore, but like since we share mutual friends, we are civil and cordial whenever it is that we're in the same space. Cool. So right, Klengiwe, my cousin and I were friends, right? I just don't remember if I don't know if I found her at that new school or if she arrived after I did. But essentially, I joined their friend group and then Sonkasaha Bangani, right? And the friendship was beautiful, man. Like, there was never a point where I felt, at that time. Sometimes when you think back, I'm explaining so many things. But, like, once a friendship ends and you actually think back to some of the things that happened, you do realize, Uti, maybe, like, things weren't the way that I thought they were. And that was the realization that I came to. Anyway, so Brandon and I are on and off for like years, right? And because I like him so much, he's literally someone that I constantly talk about to all my friends. Like we are Ziwa at this point. And the other thing also is I literally see him all the time, especially because he stayed so close to another cousin of mine's house. So I would go visit my cousin so that I could see him. Basically, that's what it was. So I'd see him like a lot, like we'd see each other quite often. And then obviously I'd see him at school as well. So, girl was in her Gone Girl era, like in the most stupid and most dumb way, to be quite honest. Fast forward to where this whole drama begins, right? Okay, so we had a group project. Was it a group project? It was an individual project, but my cousin Klingiwe and I decided that we were gonna get together. Like, even though we were gonna be doing our own thing, we just wanted to do it together. We started off at my cousin's house, but we didn't finish. And then we moved on to, wait. Before all of that happened, right? This one time, randomly, and I don't even remember how exactly this started or how exactly we had this conversation to begin with or how it came up, but Ohlenyue tells me that she's speaking to Brandon. I believe it was BBM at the time. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. I don't know. Like, so when she told me this, and as much as I knew I didn't like it, I couldn't voice it. So I was just like, okay, cool. Like, you guys are talking, sharp. Also, I'm not thinking Wuti, like, it's going to move in any weird direction. So I just let it be, right? Fast forward to a different time where she's like, oh, Brandon is flirting with me. I'm thinking, this is a bit weird because, first of all, Brandon and I still see each other. Also, she's well aware of this fact because, like I said, I talk about him all the time. If I was with him the past weekend, I will definitely mention that I was with him the past weekend. If I bumped into him on the school grounds and he said something funny, like, it would be a topic the entire day because I talked about him that much, right? So I'm just like, okay, like, weird, both of you, because first of all, why are you flirting with my friend? Two, why are you telling me this and not blocking this person? Like, why are you continuing to speak to them? Because you know that it might bother me. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Brush it off again. And then I think I bump into Brandon maybe like sometime later during the day, and I'm like, you know that stupid thing, like, anyway, that kind of fizzles or whatever, and I don't think she mentions him at any point, right? Then that group project thing came up, right? And we went to my cousin's, but we didn't finish. Second time we got together to finish it off was at her house, Uhlengi. So we go to Hlengi's house, and I remember that particular day, my cousin left earlier. My uncle came to get her early. There was somewhere that they had to go or something like that, like some family emergency thing. So as Umlanda, I stayed behind because my dad was only picking me up after work, right? So I stayed behind at Hlengi's house waiting for my dad to come. Sharp. I remember it was me, Hlengiwe, and her cousin. This is after my cousin left, right? Sharp. They are like chilling in the bedroom. I remember she was like unbraiding or something along those lines, and I was chilling in the lounge, right? So clearly a lounge, yagubo, and then I'm busy to like the bedroom. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go, Mang Figa. She says to me she has something to talk to me about, something to tell me, something along those lines. I'm like, okay, cool. Ati, Brandon, Oyang Shell. I'm like, okay. Huh? What do you mean? But anyway, she's like, yeah, Brandon's asking me out. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, and I think I'm starting to develop feelings for him. What do you mean? Kanjan. Like, no, seriously, what do you mean? I'm like, ain't no way, bro. Cool. She tells me that. And again, I'm like, okay, hi. I don't ask any further questions after that. In fact, all I remember is leaving from that point onwards. Like, I went home. My dad came, I left. Sharp. Project happens, like, we're still cool or whatever, but like things are getting a little awkward because at this point I'm realizing, you know, these people don't think about the situation the same way that I do. And clearly my feelings are not being taken into consideration in this whole thing. So yeah, I didn't know what to make of it, but I left it as what it was. Hi, okay. Group project day comes, we do, it wasn't even a group project, but the day comes, we do our projects and everything is fine, everything is cool. I'm still friends with them, I still hang out with them, right? But I've also now started forming a friendship with two other girls. Let's call them, what can I call them? We'll call the one Megan and the other Star. I don't know where the name came from. Anyway, so I start forming a friendship with Star and Megan. Star and Megan were again another two-person friendship that I came and joined and became a third person. You get it? So yeah, start forming a friendship with them. I don't hang out with them all the time, but I do speak to them like quite often. Start forming a friendship with them, and then I start hanging out with them like randomly. Basically, it was me kind of, I was trying to take myself out of that whole situation because it was feeling a little toxic. Also, I felt betrayed, to put it lightly, or just the way it is basically. And because I didn't know, I wasn't big on confrontation back then. Right now, as an adult, I understand it is needed sometimes. Those difficult conversations are definitely necessary, especially if you're trying to maintain a good friendship with someone, right? But anyway, start hanging out with them, Megan and Star, right? And I guess my cousin and Uklengiwe started noticing, right? But like they didn't really say anything about it. I do remember my cousin asked me about it. I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, we are friends. I don't know if I'll hang out with them like full time, But yeah, I do enjoy their company essentially, right? Sharp. Fast forward again. The year basically ends, right? Now go figure I'm a school holidays. December recess essentially, and I go visit at my cousin's house. Which cousin? The other cousin, and let's just call her Nomfundo. Anyway, I go to Nomfundo's house. It's December holidays. Another cousin of ours also came, so it was the three of us. It was me, Nomfundo, and a third cousin. I don't want to give too many names because I feel like I'm going to start mixing people up. But yeah, we basically go visit Cabo Nomfundo, me and this other cousin of mine, right? And this is like for the entire December recess. So obviously, again, because what's his name again? Brandon stays really close to my cousin's house. I get to see him quite often again, right? So we're hanging out, we're talking. Also, I didn't think to ask about that whole situation to Ushala, my friend, or if they decided to start dating or anything along those lines. I didn't think it was necessary. Also, he was adamant that he was single, so I hope I'm not exposing people, because if he lied, if you lied, my brother, I'm sorry. Now you've been exposed. Anyway, yeah, so he said he was single. I was single at the time, so I had nothing to feel guilty about. Also, I did still like him, and I feel like I'm trying to justify nonsense, so I'm just going to stop right there, right? Also, please don't get me wrong. I understand there were certain parts where I was wrong in this entire situation, which is why I did have a conversation with Okenyu at some point, and we fixed things. Story for another day. Now, fast forward to school's opening, like the following year. So at my old high school, there was this particular bridge that joined two separate buildings, right? And when you're standing by the bridge, you can see like a corridor of like the other classes, like whichever class, like on this end. And then on this side, you can see the windows from the building on the side. Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. So where I'm standing, a corridor, and I'm standing with my cousin, the cousin from school, right? So actually, let's just name her. What can I call her? Chloe. Chloe and I are standing on the bridge, right? And we're facing the corridor. Now, in my view, I can see Brandon and Uhlenyu standing together. But they're looking cozy, bro. Like, excuse me, I don't remember if she was like fixing his tie or something, but I do remember she was like, all up on him or whatever, and they were like very touchy-feely. So I look at my cousin, I'm like, what's that about? And she goes, oh, Betrayal, you didn't know? How? I know you're fucking lying. I'm sorry, what? Angizwanga kahle. Like, if voice yakhe idlule nomoya, because did I just hear you say these two people are dating? Surely you're lying. Surely. You're joking. No, I'm not joking. She didn't tell you, and I'm like, no, she didn't say anything to me about their dating. The last conversation we had was her telling me that I'm Michelle and that she's starting to like him. That was it. Like, there was nothing else said after that. She's like, yeah, well, they're dating. They've been dating. I'm like, what do you mean they've been dating? She's like, dude, I think like either late last year, which would suggest December, which is exactly when me and this, well, man now, but he was a boy then, me and this boy had been spending time together. And I'm just like, crazy. Essentially, he started dating her around the same time that him and I were still hanging out. So I'm just, guys, I was so shocked, right? The first thing I did was to go tell, what did I call them again? Was it Megan and Star? Yeah, I think those are the names I gave them. I go and I tell her, and I'm like, you will never believe what I just heard from my cousin. And among Baja, they're just as right, because it's like, but like girl code. I mean, if my friend likes someone and they talk about them all the time and they're still seeing them, why the if would I go involve myself in that situation? Like, make it make sense, right? So I'm like, oh guys, I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, relationship basically blossoms, right? Start dating, everybody knows they're dating, that kind of thing. I tried to stay away from him, as difficult as it was. It didn't last very long. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not perfect, right? This was something that Kenya and I spoke about, like I said, when I said we had a conversation. And I thought we had an understanding, but I recently found out that that might not be the case. You know what? Anyway, so that's all, right? Now, things are really rocky in my friendship with my cousin, Muklinyu. That's the first thing that starts to happen. Like, things become shaky. And then, obviously, my relationship or official relationship with Brandon also starts to get a bit funny, because like, why am I in a triangle, especially with someone that I considered a friend? Like, why is that even a thing? I understand. So at that point, I started hanging out a lot more with Megan and Star, right? And eventually completely stopped hanging out with my cousin and Uhlingwe because things got really, really ugly. Like, with the both of them at that point. Things got really ugly. So I couldn't handle the toxicity. I couldn't handle just like the feeling that came with it, and I was just like, I can't hang out with you guys. Like, it doesn't make any sense, especially with the way that they were approaching the entire situation. It didn't feel I didn't feel welcome anymore in the friend group, so I left. Right? Cool. Now me and Jalo start hanging out with Megan and Star. This one particular day, we're chilling. It's like break time. We're chilling with this other guy friend of ours, and Uhleniwe and my cousin come to me and they're like, yeah, can we talk to you? There's something really important we'd like to discuss with you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I step away, obviously, so that we can have the conversation privately. Cool conversation. I'm being told, oh, we miss you so much. Things haven't been the same since you left. We'd really like for you to come back and start hanging out with us again. We understand what is does go sharp, but like, we can work on it with friends, us and gaining a palate and stuff like that. And at that point, like, because I mean, these people are my friends and I love them, I genuinely consider going back. I'm like, okay, cool, like, thank you guys, really appreciate it. Can I think about it? They're like, yeah, cool, think about it. I'm like, cool, sharp. Go back to Megan and Star and that other friend of ours, and we all chill, and I tell them about it, and they're like, oh, that's like really cool, that's really nice of them, you should consider it. Cool. I want sharp. Then, like, after school, I remember I used to take a bus, like a transport and the bus. I took a bus to school and from school back home, and there was this one girl that I was friends with, and we went to the same school, right? We were in the same grade, and we used the same bus to and from school, right? So that particular afternoon after school, I find her in the bus. I remember we would always sit next to each other even. Let's call her. Oh, does she need a name? She doesn't need a name. She doesn't need a name because I'm already, like, my mind is, yeah. So she's like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah. Why are you asking like that? She says, no, the thing is, I heard something today. I'm just not sure how you're going to receive it. Also, I'm not sure if it was like directed at you, But I have noticed, Uti, you don't really hang out with Uhlengiwe and your cousin anymore, and that you're hanging out with Megan and Star. So, like, yeah, is everything fine? I'm like, yeah, no, everything is cool. It's just obviously Itrama, Yaga Brandon, now dating Uhlengiwe. So, our friendship is not the same, which is why I've been hanging out with other people. She's like, oh, okay, cool. But you guys are still friends, right? Like, hey, dude, I'm not sure, to be quite honest, but I think so. She's like, well, that's funny because I heard them say like some really nasty things today, but I wasn't sure if Zinga, like, what things? She's like, so when I was coming from the tuck shop, I walked past them and I happened to hear them basically having a conversation about a particular sunbird, right? And they were saying, what's here, guys? I can't say this in English because it's not going to be the same. It's not going to have the same effect. So I'll try and put subtitles or something. Ati, no, bathe bona abazalanga lana ukuzenza bangani futhi bona ngeke baze bancenga umuntu ongafuni kuba umngani wabo vele esikoleni bona bazele ukuzofunda not to make friends, and if angafuni ukubuya kibo then it's fine, like ngeke baze bamncenge. So I'm like, when exactly did you hear this? I remember a time stamp. Is it even a time stamp? But it's cut to this match. It was literally after they just had the conversation with me. So Kshuti, after I said, oh, I'll think about it, and I went to sit back down with my other friends, they were basically going off. And I guess they were mad about the fact that I didn't immediately say yes or something. But yeah. Also, if they do watch this is probably going to be the first time that they find out that I actually know about this. But it is what it is. So yeah, so and I'm just like, that was about me, because they came and they said 1, 2, 3 about being friends again, and clearly it was not genuine. So out of obvious reasons, I don't go back, right? And basically the rest of the year is that like there's like a back and forth, there's bickering, or you know, all of this because of a boy. Guys, like, I really wish I knew better and did better, to be quite honest. But yeah, things did not go the mature way. Anyway, at this point I've accepted that we're never gonna be friends again. Like, it is what it is. Even with my cousin, like, I've accepted that things are never gonna be the same. So like, it is what it is, right? Fast forward to now, where this incident that's in the title happens. So this one afternoon, right, this is after school, and I don't remember if it was exam season or what, but I think it was, right? And who did I say, my friend that stays next door is? Did I call her Faith? I think it was Faith. Anyway, Faith comes over to my house, which is something that we did all the time. Like, when we get back from school, she'd go change, grab something to eat, and then come over to mine, and then we'd hang out for the rest of the day, right? So she does that. And then I remember we were talking about like how hungry we were, and we wanted to get ama chips, like slop chips, basically. And as we're about to leave, there's like a knock at my door, sharp. I asked her to go check it out because I remember I was still changing out of my uniform. She goes, and then she comes back. She's like, oh, it's your cousin and like a few other people, like 2 other girls, basically. So I'm like, okay, cool. Please just let them know that I'm coming. I'm just changing, sharp. Hi. I find Uguti is Uhlengiwe. Let's call this other girl Angel. The one that I said I became friends with in grade 9. I think I mentioned it. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember. But anyways, Angel. I'm going to call her Angel because she's really sweet. And we're still friends. And I love her. So yeah, Uhlengiwe, Angel, and my cousin, right, at my door. And I'm shocked because, I mean, we're not friends. So, Mfunan. I'm thinking like, what's happening? Like, why are you guys here? I greet them and they're like, oh, we just thought to pass by and say hi. We're actually on our way. I'm like, oh, great, because Faith and I are also on our way out. So like, I can walk you guys. Sharp. We leave the yard and we stand outside the yard. I just don't remember what exactly the reason was, right? And then, Masmile Lapaya, do these girls not tell me, actually, we lied. The real reason we came here is to tell you go to Brandon umitisile and umitise uhlingiwe. Guys, when I tell you, my heart literally sank. I couldn't, like, I've never been so devastated. I've never been so devastated. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? It must be a joke. And I literally laughed. They're like, no, dude, we're serious. We're serious. Why do you think? So at the time, Klingiwe wasn't staying at her house. If I mention the actual reasons, I feel like I would be making it too obvious. But it wasn't anything hectic. Like, she wasn't in trouble or anything like that. But she wasn't staying at her house, right? But I obviously didn't know this at the time. I only found out after. OT, like, this whole thing. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so they're like, why do you think Klingiwe is not staying at her house? I'm like, I didn't even know that she wasn't staying at her house. Anyway, she's like, it's like, no, the thing is, when I told my mom, she was really angry. She kicked me out, which is why I'm staying at my cousin's at the moment. And then I was like, oh, actually, it does make sense. Because I think I heard vaguely about her not being at her house. But I hadn't asked why. Because, I mean, we're not friends. And I didn't really care to find out. Right? I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, yo, she was very pissed. And so I'm like, what's going to happen to you then? She's like, oh, I'll probably go back once she calms down or something. Or I'll probably just move in with Brandon and his family. I'm like, so Brandon and his family know? She was like, yeah. Like, his parents are so excited. Even he's excited. Guys. Also, looking at this thing, I'm realizing how stupid it was. Because we were in high school. There was no way that your parents would be happy about something like that. Doesn't make any sense. Right? But that didn't cross my mind. So I'm just like, I know you fucking lying. She's like, no, for real. Like, his dad has even started calling me Ngokoti. Yo, guys, yo, has been gula, man. Has been gula in that moment. Like, you know that feeling you get when you have like a tummy ache and then your saliva just fills your mouth? That's literally what it was. I could not believe what I was hearing. And like, these people were so serious and I was hurting. You know when I say I was hurting? And with the way that I was feeling, I doubt I was even doing like okay in terms of hiding my emotions, because I'm sure they could tell. And I low-key feel like it kind of made them happy because of the facial expressions that they had when I reacted the way that I did. I'm like, oh, well, I guess congratulations. Like what else am I going to say? And I remember even saying, I'm going to ask Brandon. They're like, yeah, umbuze. He'll tell you himself. Anyway, they tell me this and I'm just like, yo, like, now I really have to stay away from this person. Because I'm not going to date you guys with someone that I used to call a friend. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? I walk them, they leave. Faith and I get our slap chips. I don't even think I ate that much. But yeah, go back and clean. Later on that night, I text Brandon. Remember I said Brandon and I were still seeing each other. I realize now that me thinking and believing anything he said was an accident. It was so stupid. Like I said, I didn't know any better. So yeah. Anyway, so I asked him, I'm like, dude, I was actually going to meet Cecilia. He's like, me to say why? As you know, there's no such thing. And now he's pissed off. So he confronts her. Yo, guys, when I tell you, I got the most heated text from my cousin after that interaction I had with Brandon. Anyway, yeah, that whole interaction just... guys, like, I can't even put into words all the negative emotions that I went through. But I realized how toxic the relationship was. I realized how toxic the friendship was. I realized where my cousin's loyalties lay. And I think that hurt me more than anything else because I expected her to be on my side. But yeah, that is essentially how I found out that my boyfriend, or the person I thought was my boyfriend, got my best... Can I even call her a best friend? No, she wasn't my best friend. Anyways, That's how I found out that my boyfriend got my friend pregnant. And yeah, it was devastating. Anyway, hope you guys liked and enjoyed the story time. Please let me know if you would like to see more of these. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.